Several teens and a mother who lost their child to an opioid overdose are heading to Washington, D.C. to address the drug crisis. They're pushing for stiffer laws and for a program that started in Akron to now go nationwide. Bob Jones live in Akron tonight. And Bob, these kids are actually doing their part in the battle against the opioid epidemic.
And Zanita, they're looking for funding to grow a program called Rachel's Angels, which started here in the Akron Public School District. You know, kids in Summit County have also been impacted by the opioid crisis. Just take a look at some of these numbers we found today. Between 2014 and 2018, 16 people between the ages of 15 and 19 died from overdoses. And during that same time, 453 teens went to the hospital after overdosing. A billboard covered with pictures of 17-year-old Rachel DeMeo carrying it her mother Cindy as she prepared to board a plane for Washington, D.C., determined to share Rachel's story with some of our nation's leaders.
She was just so energetic and loving and always wanted to have friends over, and she was just a joy, just a complete joy.
In 2016, Rachel, a junior at Woodridge High School, died from an accidental carfentanil overdose. A man who sold the teen drugs several times is serving a 3-year prison sentence. This Thursday, Cindy plans to push members of Congress and an opioid caucus for stiffer penalties to those who supply dangerous drugs to kids.
It's just going to be a broken nation. You know, if we don't fix it now and teach these kids about this, the deaths are going to keep happening, the destructions of families are going to keep happening.
Naomi Johnson, a senior at Firestone High School in Akron, is also making the D.C. trip.
I feel like talking with a teen to a teen or a kid to a kid, it's like talking to a friend.
Like, it's their time to go.
Naomi is part of Rachel's Angels. She visits Akron and other area middle and high schools, talking to kids about the dangers of drugs, presenting cold hard facts and places to turn to for help. She has witnessed breakthrough moments.
I've had a middle schooler just break down into tears after the presentation. I had to talk to her.
Dr. Katrina Halassa, a science and health learning specialist for APS, hopes members of Congress find a way to expand Rachel's Angels across the country to help attack the opioid crisis.
I'd love it to see those grassroots kind of programming really get funding, because they really are the boots on the ground.
Cindy says for the most part she uses her own money to fund Rachel's Angels. She's hoping that changes after this week's presentation.
Now we're at a point where in order for us to start growing into other schools, we're going to have some funding.
The Rachel's Angels presentation will take place Thursday afternoon in Washington, D.C. and will last about an hour and a half. Also making the trip, some of Rachel's friends who are now in college. Live in Akron tonight, Bob Jones, News 5.